Good morning, students. So students, today we are going to discuss our 15th chapter. The name of the chapter is population. So in this chapter we will basically deal with how the population rise, what were the different revolutions that led to rise in the population, and what were the consequences of increasing population. Now let's begin the chapter. Now children, see, this is one of the global threat that population is increasing day by day in all the developing countries, and all the media of the mass communication are trying their best to educate people about the grave dangers of the rising population. So it is there are different reasons that the population has been suddenly raised. So first we will discuss that how the world population have undergone the changes through the ages. So it is estimated that total world population about 50,000 years have been around 1 million, and that time man just lived a very primitive life. His life was very normal. He knew nothing about farming, cultivation, etc. And he just used the tools which he made from the stone, sticks, or the bones. Then about after that stone age, then a tool making revolution just helped to improve his life. And about 10,000 years ago, total world population have been reached about 5.3 million at that time. So the human way of life was undergoing a remarkable change, that a new type of revolution was starting. So what the changes were happened, he started living in the communities, in the primitive huts. He started domesticating animals, and he also learned how to sow the crops, or how to grow the crops, and how to store the food. And this was marked the beginning of the revolution. So his primitive stone tools and weapons were now gradually being replaced by the metals like the bronze and irons he started using. So after that there occurred a rapid rise in the population. There were certain revolutions which led to a rapid rise. First revolution was the industrial revolution. So the major phase in the growth of human population that started with the scientific and the industrial revolution, and that began about the 17th century. So rapidly growing industries made human life more and more comfortable, means great machinery came into existence, and that enhanced the opportunities of jobs with more production of the food, and all this favored the population rise. So however, there was one drawback, that the community groups were increasing. So there was widespread outbreak of the infectious disease also, and the nutritional disease also came into existence due to the unbalanced diet. Afterwards, second change happened, that is that some new discoveries were done in the medical science, that is in the 20th century. So these antibiotics and vaccination came into existence against many disease, and this resulted in the sharp reduction in the number of the deaths of all the ages groups, especially the infants and the old. And the more children per family began to reach the reproductive age, and the rate of the growth of population began to rise very rapidly. So as you look in this graph, this is depicting the three great cultural revolutions that have occurred. First it was approximate, that was the tool making revolution. There was a little rise. Then it was agriculture revolution. Third was scientific industrial revolution. Now here you can see they have shown here two question marks. See, modern period is being marked by end of the certain solid curve. The question, we do not know exactly whether the population would continue to rise rapidly or slowly, or would it be able to stabilize. So that's why they have marked here two question marks. Now see that this population explosion, that is a serious global concern. Now what does the population explosion refers to? That refers to a rapid and a massive rise in the world population that has occurred over the last few hundred years, and it have started in the middle of the 19th century. Two-thirds of the present world population belongs to the developing nations, whereas more than the half of the people live below the poverty line. And India and China, they form the third means one third of the total world population. So in the earlier years, the human population remained fairly constant, with the population growth rate being below 1%. But later on, this with the scientific and industrial revolutions, a fresh momentum was seen in the population. and about over 50 years in the 20th annual population growth has increased about 2.1% in 1962, which is the highest annual growth. Means you can look in this graph also, there was a sudden rise in the population that have ever recorded, and total world population reached about 7 billion mark on 31st October 2011. Now since it is peaking, so the growth rate has systematically been gone down with a projection estimated on the annual rate. Now see, what are the 6 main reasons for the sharp rise in world human population? First of all is that day by day we are getting the better health cares for all the ages group. So means we are having the good hospitals, doctors are there, and number of the deaths are decreasing. So fewer deaths are there due to the better medical aid. This is also means birth rate is becoming more than the death rate. So and the food storage is also minimized and green revolutions. So because more and more food is being produced and we can store it also, so there are few starvation deaths. Improve nutrition due to the consciousness, people are aware what they have to give their growing children, so they keep uh, a healthy diet for everyone, so there is a less chances of diseases and they can live longer. Next is large scale immunization against fatal disease. So right from the birth you can see many injections are given to the child, that is a vaccines are given to make a stable immunity, and fewer infants death is also. In older time an average family would just get a children of 5 or 6, and out of that 3 or 4 are sustaining. But today most of the newborn babies they survive due to the better health care. So as a result of all above factors, even if a couple has only 2 to 3 child, the total population rises sharply. Now see, there is a need for adopting some control measures. What are the reasons? Means see, day by day population is increasing, so therefore there is a decrease in the open spaces, forests are shrinking, industrial due to increase in industrialization they are causing air, water or the soil pollution, and rapid and intense shortage is happening of the drinking water and other resources, and it is becoming a biggest health hazard also these days. Okay, next we are going to discuss about the what are the factors which are responsible for the population explosion in India. Basically we are talking about India. First is a poor illiteracy, that is the people, most of the rural population that form the bulk of our society, they are still illiterate and ignorant, and they are more superstitious. So they follow the false beliefs, and there are certain traditional beliefs also that children are regarded as a gift of a god, so that is a sign of prosperity, so they will make a no effort to avoid any type of pregnancy. Next is mortality rate. Due to high infant mortality rate in our country, people from the economical section they say that it is safer to produce more children as they will earn more. So that is also there, so that at least some, and moreover if more children will be there, at least some of them will survive. Next are the economic reasons. Children are considered to be helping hands to increase their family income, so that's why they give birth to more children. Some religion and social customs are also that it is because we can say India is the biggest center of religion and social customs. So as such, most people do not accept to adopt the family planning norms. And third one, the biggest reason is desire for a male child. Most Indian families they still hold the view that the male child is essential for keeping up the name of the family. So and moreover they say that the male child will give a greater help further in the future life. So these two reasons often contribute in getting the several children before getting one son. And next is the lack of the recreation. Now children, next we are going to say what are the pressures being created by the rising population. See, actually the pressure will be created on our resources, natural resources. Now what are resources? Resources can be natural or artificial, through which we are getting the energy or we are earning our livelihood on them. So what are the main resources? That is the food, water, land, forest, energy, minerals. So within rise in population, their production falls for the short of the demand. The first is the food. Now see, one of the biggest need of the human being is food. So it has been discovered that although humans have discovered very better methods for production of the food, but it cannot be in the same proportion as our population is rising. If unchecked, see, our number of the people are increasing in a geometrical progression, like more or less in the pattern, first 1, then 2, 4, 8, 16, sudden rise is there, but number at the each step are being, means we can say they are being multiplied. But if we talk about the food production, they are just following the arithmetic progression in form of like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just by adding up each step. So this indicates that the food is being going to be run short very soon if we are keeping a not keeping a check on the rising population. Next is the water. Availability of the clean and the germ free water for drinking purpose is becoming less day by day with increase in population, because mainly there is a pollution on the rivers, ponds and the lakes. Next is land, because as population is increasing, there is a more need for more land to make do the cultivation as well as building more residential colonies, factories and industries. So usable land would then thus become less and less available. Next are the forest. Now see, these are the most natural resources. They are the big stockhouse of the timber, firewood, resins, medicine and wood pulp. So forest are the main contribution of the life sustaining oxygen also. They are the storehouse of our oxygen also in the environment. So they bring rain also by adding the moisture by transpiration, and the same time they prevents the flood also by holding the soil particles. So in this way they stabilize the climatic conditions. But continuously we are cutting the forest, like deforestation we are doing, that has been one of the major serious outcome of rising population. And due to that we are suffering from numerous problems, like the droughts are there, often soil erosion is there, extinction of several wild animals is there, and some are just near to threat to extinct. Global warming, day by day temperatures is increasing, and flash floods are also occurring. So forest is one of our renewable resource. If we start the afforestation, means we are planting the trees, we can maintain and even improve the existing one. So last one is the energy. So basically we need energy in our for cooking our food in our homes, for running our factories, and even our transportation also depends on the fuels. So basically there are two major sources that we are taking using, that is the coal and petroleum. We are calling them as fossil fuels, but their reserves are also depleting because their demand is more, so they may be exhausted within the 1 to 50 years, or coal may last a bit longer. So we have to go to opt certain non-conventional sources of energy, such as solar energy, wind energy, or nuclear energy, tidal energies. Many appliances are also being made to harness such energy, like solar cookers and solar batteries are being used these days, or biogas plants are being for producing the energy. So population growth and urbanization causing serious pressure on the resources. So human population is growing very fast throughout the world. So villages are turning into towns, and towns into cities, and cities into mega cities or metropolitan cities. So this led to a new uh, change that is known as urbanization. So more and more residential building, markets, colonies, hospitals are being made, streets are made, highways, railway lines, industrial installations are there, godowns are being made, reservoirs are being made. So all these development activities are being using up all our open land as well as our neighboring agricultural land also. So there is a loss of our natural vegetation also, which will lead to degrading the condition of our environment also. Now few terms we have to discuss that are coming in the 1 mark question. First is demography. What is demography? It is a statistical study of the human population. It is especially with reference to the size and the density distribution and other vital statistics. Next is population density. It is the number of the individual per square kilometer in any given time. So next is, what is birth rate or natality rate? It is actually the number of the live births per 1,000 people of the population per year. For example, if there were 440 live births in a population of 20,000 people, so birth rate would be, we will divide it, so it will come 22. So death rate or mortality rate is number of the deaths per 1,000 of the population per year. So growth rate of population is the difference between the birth rate and the death rate. So this definition you have to learn. Now next we are going to discuss about the population education and the population control. So it is necessary that we need to educate the people about the need to limit the population and about the steps which could be taken in this direction. First is that we should give the message about the population problem. So all the people should be aware about that. Even people living in the remote areas, people should be made aware of the advantages of having the small families and what are the disadvantages of having a large families, and what is the orthodox means old views to have at least once, and especially in Indian society should be modified by education. Marriageable age should be higher, that at least 18 years for the girls and 21 years for the boys, and people should be advised to adopt the family planning method, and the married couple should be educated to delay the birth of their first child to space the second with a sufficient interval. Just look into this triangle sign, red triangle. This is a sign of a family welfare. This inverted red triangle has become a popular sign in India for the family welfare. You must have seen that it displayed in offices also, hospitals also, where any help or advice about the family planning is available free of cost. So these are known as the family welfare centers. So basically this welfare is made in three aspects. There is the family planning in terms of having a small family, total welfare of the small family, and subsequent care of their children. Now next we are going to discuss some methods of contraception. First are the hormonal methods, that is the pill. Various hormonal preparations are there in the form of the tablets or pills. We commonly call them as contraceptive pills. So these hormone prevents the release of the egg from the ovary. Next are the some barrier methods. Means some we are using some equipments in that, like it is condom that is being used by the men only. It is used to made up of latex, that is a rubber sheath. It prevents the sperm from being deposited in the vagina. Next is the diaphragm. These are the round latex cap like structures with the coil springs, and these caps can be fitted deep in the vagina or the mouth of the uterus, that is the cervix, and they prevent the entry of the sperm into the uterus. Next is the sperm killing. There some certain spermicidal agents can be used that kills the entry of the sperms in the cervix. Or next are intrauterine device, IUDs. This term is short form is being used in the Muslim exams. It stands for intrauterine device. So there are two devices. One is the lipase loop and second is copper T. These are fitted inside the uterus. They do not stop the fertilization but just prevent the implantation of the blastocyst. Now these are two very important surgical methods, and mostly questions are coming from this: tubotomy and vasectomy. So keep in mind, tubotomy is for the females. In this, the abdomen is open and this fallopian tube, the cut is being made. Here you can see, or is ligated or tied with a nylon thread to close the passage of the egg. And a vasectomy, that is happening in the males. Now in this surgery, a small cut is made in the scrotum and the vasa deferens from each testis is ligated and small piece between the two ligature is removed. And this surgery of vasectomy is easier and quicker and safer. So it is recommended that between the couple it is better that husband could get operated. There are no harmful effects on that of any kind. Next is induced abortion or medical termination of pregnancy. This is the last treatment which we can use when the woman has somehow become pregnant and the couple does not want to have the child, or if there is some any defect or genetic disease is there in the embryo. Based on special test, then the fetus can be removed. So this method should not be considered as a contraceptive method, but this is the last step that can be taken. So operation should be performed only by a trained doctor at a hospital. So children, these were the certain topics which we have to go discuss in this chapter. So go through them and solve your back exercise. Thank you. Have a nice day.